Let's talk about the theory of realism. It is quite simple common sense theory as it can be explained in a few straightforward proportions. It is divided into four. Classical realism is where all states seek power which is driven by desire to achieve national interest. The states increase their power by internal development such as economic system, technological, diplomatic, and military resources. On the other hand, neorealism is a theory of international relations that say power is the most important factor in international relations and is seek how states, the most powerful one, behave and how they interact with each other on the internal area. On the other hand, offensive realism seeks power and influence to achieve security through dominant and homogeneous. Defensive realism argues that the anarchical structure of the international system encourages states to maintain moderate and business policies to entail. Moving to Afghanistan War 2001, the United States, supported by Britain, began its attack on Afghanistan. The war began on October 7, 2001 in response to the 11 September terrorist attack on the US. US launched Operation Enduring Freedom to battle terrorist groups in Afghanistan and throughout the world. They launched bombs and cruise missiles against Taliban military and community facilities and suspect terrorist training camps. About 157,000 people were killed in the Afghanistan war since 2001. More than 43,000 of those killed has been civilians.
Hello, my name is Ashan Nur Kamarina and I will represent about the issues that occur in Afghanistan war. The issues of Afghanistan wars in 2001 was actually about the hatred of Osama bin Laden toward the United States of America. In 1980s, Osama and the United States having a good relationship and cooperate with each other in fighting against the Soviet Union because during that time, Soviet Union will colonize the Afghanistan land. So in order to help Afghanistan, United States provide facility assistance and war equipment for Afghanistan. Then after the war happened between Soviet Union and Afghanistan, Soviet Union retreated from Afghanistan. But actually there is a reason why United States cooperate with Afghanistan and Osama because of they wanted to exploiting natural and oil resources owned by Islamic State. Even they are willing to kill and slaughter Muslim people who do not cooperate with them. But when Muslims are oppressed or protested, they consider Islam as terrorists. Osama also noticed that United States having the same intention with Soviet Union towards Afghanistan. Then he chose to establish Al-Qaeda to abolish the regime of non-Muslim government and Western nations, especially United States. He chose to not cooperate with Mujahideen fighters because they are more siding on United States. Before the incidents that happened in WTC in New York and Pentagon building in 2001, there are several incidents happened at US embassies in Kenya and Tanzania, Somalia and Yemen. But does not involve a large number of victims and US has retaliated. But actually there is no proof that Osama was responsible for the incident in 2001 because US only wanted a scapegoat, so they chose Osama to be accused for the incident that are actually done by President of US himself, which is George W. Bush.
The US policy in the context of 9/11 attack under the broader rubric of the War on Terror is primarily to topple the Taliban regime. It is because the regime disagreed to comply with United States administration to extradite Osama bin Laden, the alleged mastermind of terrorist attack in USA 2001. In applying the theory of realism, after the collapse of Taliban regime, the war on terror did not end but shift to state building project in Afghanistan. There are two major motivations driven is because to maximize security by securing itself from further terrorist attack, and policy privacy is to prevent other regional hegemons South Asia. Regional hegemon is the hegemony in terms of political, economic or military predominance one independently powerful state known as the regional hegemon over other neighboring countries. The reason United States policy shift in Afghanistan from the War on Terror project to state building because if Afghanistan was left unattended, the terrorist group, especially Al-Qaeda, would be post-security threat not only Afghanistan but also for the USA. As an offensive realist argue, truth is Afghanistan policy wanted to prevent the emergence of two aspiring hegemons, China and India, by doing onshore balance.
Administration formation of International Security Assistance Force, and of the 1996 to 2001 phase of Afghan civil war start on the Taliban insurgency. The Afghanistan of 2001 was a country in which the Taliban largest called the shots. The U.S. condemned Afghanistan's government in 2001 for housing the mastermind of the September 11 attack.